All right guys, so today I'm doing a dash cam install on my 2025 Civic Type R. If you want to install a dash cam on a different type of vehicle, you could follow my instructions. You could probably do the same with any other car, but this video is specifically for the Type R. And I'm going to be installing a Vantrue cam, so it's going to be front, rear, and the interior camera, and I'm going to hardwire it as opposed to using a cigarette lighter adapter. If you want a quick install, you could just plug it into your cigarette lighter adapter, and then it'll be a super quick job. But I want the park mode enabled, so that way when the car is parked, like if somebody tries to break the window in the car, or if there's an impact, like if somebody hits your car while it's parked, or any other event happens around your car and the sensors pick up on it, when you hardwire the camera, it turns on even when the car is off, when it's just sitting in the parking lot. So I'll show you guys how to run that hardwiring kit, and I hope you enjoyed the video. All right guys, so we're gonna be installing this dash cam here. I got the Vantrue kit. I'll do an unboxing here in a minute. It's the front and rear dash cam. And it is a 4K cam, which is nice. So we got the 4K front, 1080p cabin, and then 2.5K rear, 30 frames per second. It's supposed to read license plates. I've got a GPS logger. Also got this CPL filter. It's supposed to help with glare, so I got that as well. We'll install it. And I've got this SD card. 256 gigs, should be good. It's specifically for dash cams. You don't have to get this brand, I don't think, but I got it just to make sure it works. If you guys are interested in any of these products, I've included the link down in the description below. All right guys, we're gonna start with the unboxing of the camera. So this is the rear cam, and it says it is waterproof. So, but I'm going to be installing it on the inside. But if you wanted to install it on the outside, I guess you could as well. So, but you could tell it's kind of it's protected from any water or rain damage. Here we got the main cam. Let's take a look at the rest of these items. So we got the cable for the rear cam. Nice that they included this tool for the trim removal. This is the piece to mount the cam to the front of the windshield. So yep, that's the cigarette lighter power. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna use a hardwire kit, so I won't be using this part. But if you're not going to use a hardwire kit, this right here would be this would be a much quicker install. All right, so first step here is what we want to do is we want to attach this mounting bracket to the camera itself, and can't really mess it up, so you just insert it here. Let's go ahead and try it. Next, what we want to do is we want to insert the memory card. So memory card goes here on this side. So we're going to take this cap off. Okay. All right. Here we are. All right, so the memory card is installed. So go ahead and close that. So next, what you want to do is you want to install this sticky to wherever you're going to be mounting the cam. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and install this filter. Screw it on here. And we just take the tape off. And then next what you do is you just take this 3M adapter and then just mount it, and then that's how the dash cam is going to attach to the windshield. There we go. All right, so I got the camera mounted here. It's pretty easy actually. If I wasn't filming this, this would be a really quick process. And so I just have it plugged in here. All right, guys, and my Hardwire kit just came in. What's all included here? So you got different wires for different types of vehicles here. This device here is what gets plugged into the camera. You're gonna have different voltage settings for, you know, depending on how low you want the battery to get before it shuts off automatically, so it doesn't completely drain your battery. So we'll take a look at that, but yeah, this is all included as part of the kit, so we're gonna be installing that and I'll show you how to do it. Okay guys, so the next part here is find your fuse box. That's gonna be your first step. All right, so first what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the panel here right next to your steering wheel. Here's all the fuses, and this is the area that we're gonna use to use our Hardwire kit. And also looking at the manual, you could see that there is a fuse label underneath the steering wheel. So you could just take a picture of it with your phone, and then you could see what each fuse is for. All right, so your Hardwire kit is gonna have 3 different wires, right? So the black one is gonna be ground, and then red, this is your accessory wire. This is a constant 12-volt wire. And then you have a yellow, which is the accessory wire. Basically ground, we're just gonna use one of the bolts on the frame to make sure that the module is grounded. And then these other wires, we're gonna make sure these are getting proper power, because you wanna make sure that when the car is on, the camera turns on, and then when the car is in park mode, you wanna make sure that the camera is getting proper power. That way, if the sensors pick up any motion or any impact, let's say if somebody hits your car while it's parked, or if somebody breaks a window in your car, you want to make sure that the camera is getting proper power. That way it turns on and it records the event. So let's go ahead and first start out with the red wire. This wire has to always be hot, has to always be supplying power. So we're going to start with locating the right fuse to plug this into. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this multimeter. All right guys, so I got the multimeter on. I have it set to DC, as you can see on the screen as well. It says DC up here, and then the V has the straight line over it on the turn dial here. So and I'll have the black end of the multimeter touching the ground, so I'm just using this metal bolt here, and then the red is going to touch the fuse. So and then what I found is, so obviously, like, my car doesn't have a sunroof. Looking at the manual, right, number 16 is the sunroof, so number 16 fuse. So we're going to locate that fuse since it's not being used, and then we're going to test it and make sure that we're getting 12 volts. And if that's the case, then we're going to go ahead and hook up the wire kit to that. So I'm taking this, touching the ground, and now locate number 16 fuse. So 16 is this first fuse here. So and it says 16 up above. So I'm just gonna go ahead and touch the metal part here and the metal part on the other side of the 16. When I have it grounded, the car is off and I'm touching 16. You can see I'm getting 12 volts. All right, when I touch the other side, I'm still getting 12 volts. So that's gonna be a good one. And to pull a fuse, for, at least in my car, you can use nose pliers, but in Civic Type R, you just take, you just pop the hood, and let me get this out. So you take the cover off of the fuse box that's underneath the hood, flip it over, and then you'll see there's these little alligator clips. This is what you're gonna use to pull any fuses, and you also have some spare fuses here as well. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the alligator clip to pull that sunroof fuse out, And then in the Hardwire kit, you're gonna find various wires in there, but find one that's the right size for your fuse box. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the sunroof fuse, and then we're gonna plug this into the sunroof slot. And then the fuse that comes out, we're gonna plug it into here up top, the same way it was in the fuse box. So that's important. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, I got fuse 16 out, and we're just gonna go ahead and insert it into the Hardwire kit attachment. All right, and now we're just gonna plug this into where this 20 amp fuse was sitting for the sunroof. All right, it is important that when you plug it in upwards this way, so that way the current flows properly. All right, so now we have the other end of the wire from the Hardwire kit. So what we're gonna do with that is, before we proceed, test it to make sure that we have 12 volts. I'm gonna make sure the car is off, touch the ground, and then I'm gonna go ahead and touch the wire itself. And if you could see on my multimeter, I got 12 volts coming in, so we're good to go. And finally, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna find that end that I was showing you earlier with this says battery plus, the red wire from the Hardwire kit, and we're gonna go ahead and hook it up here. So make sure it's fully seated. So you just connect it like so, and then you slide in this other little rubber piece, and it goes inside here. All right, and then you tug on it, make sure connection's secure, and we should be all good to go. All right, so now let's focus on this yellow accessory wire. We want to make sure that we find a fuse that has no power when the key is off. So I looked at the manual, and looks like fuse 45 is the accessory fuse. So I think this would be a good fuse for us to try out. All right, so you want to locate fuse 45. So you just do the count, right? So there's when you look at the fuse panel, it says 40, right? So then you just go down 5, right? So 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So this is our fuse right here. And when we touch this fuse, we should have no power, right? So let's take a look at the meter. Right now I'm touching fuse 45, and I got no voltage, which is exactly what we need. Now what I'm gonna do is hit power. All right, so now we got power on. And when we touch fuse 45 with a multimeter, we're getting 12 volts, which is exactly what we want. All right, so fuse 45 on this Type R is a good accessory fuse. We're gonna do the same thing with the accessory fuse. So we're gonna plug in the adapter, and we're gonna pull the fuse out with alligator clips, and then we're gonna plug this in to where fuse 45 sits, and then we'll plug the 45 fuse into this open slot. And make sure when you plug everything in, you plug it in upwards like this. That way you don't mess with the circuitry. All right, so I just pulled fuse 45. We got it here. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and plug it in. Okay, so now we got it in. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and insert this into the slot 45 for the fuse. We're gonna do the same thing that we did with the red wire. You locate the yellow accessory wire, and you just plug the other end of it in here, like so. All right, let's go ahead and insert it. So now, tug on it is good. So now, Now we got both wires hooked up, and now we just need to ground it, and we should be all done with the hard wiring part. All right, guys, and for the ground wire, behind to the left of the fuse box, I found the spot for the ground wire. It's kind of hard to get a camera in there, but I'll show you. I took a photo with my phone, so I'll show you where I connected the ground wire. And this completes the wiring, the hard wiring portion of this install. All right, so you can see how, I took the camera off here, and then I ran the wire up top. I used one of the clips, the 3M clips that's provided with the kit. And then I tucked the wire underneath and used another clip here so it doesn't come off hanging. And then I just ran it by the dome light underneath and over to this side. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing here, just tuck it in under the headboard, and it looks pretty clean. All right, so here's the final product here. So I ran it, got another clip there as well, and then I just ran it here to the A-pillar, and now I'm gonna remove the rubber piece here by the A-pillar, weather stripping, and it comes right off. Once you remove the weather stripping, you basically, it's a little loose up here, up top, so then you just spread it to remove the A-pillar, and then you pull it up, and that's how it comes out. All right, guys, so here's the airbag, and then I just ran the wire behind here, and I zip tied it all the way down the pillar, the A-pillar, and then basically here's the airbag, so it's not overlapping it or anything, it's protected. And then now I'm just gonna install the A-pillar back, and then we'll be done with the A-pillar section. All right, so the A-pillar is back on, and now I'm just running a wire through here, behind the plastic here, and I'm just running it and basically just placing it underneath. So I ended up mounting the Hardwire module just to the back of this panel here. That way, if I ever need to make any adjustments, I could still access this side of it. So the panel is back on, nice and clean, and now I'm just running the weather stripping here. I'm putting it back on to cover up everything else. So we're gonna go ahead and install that, and that will be the final touch. All right, guys, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in this particular product or anything that you need for the install, I'll have the links down below for your reference. But I'm gonna do a separate video reviewing this product, and make sure if you do install this kit on your Type R, get the longer USB-C cable. You wanna make sure that the cable is long enough. All right, appreciate you guys watching. Have a good one, peace.